Hello, Peter Newman with you. I've had a few questions this week from growers that have put out pre-emergent herbicides when they are dry sowing, and they're wondering if they are going to lose some of that herbicide to degradation before the crop comes up. So I called Chris Preston, Mark Congreve and Roberto Buzzi to help me out a little bit with this topic. Now, we know that there are three main ways that herbicides are broken down in the soil. The big one is microbial degradation. If you're dry seeding, that's not happening. The second one is hydrolysis. Once again, that requires water. If you're dry seeding, it's not happening. The third one is photodegradation. So some farmers are telling me they're a little concerned that they have sprayed their pre-em herbicide, they've incorporated by sowing, but some of the herbicide is stuck on the stubble, which is still sticking out of the ground. Are we going to lose some of that to photodegradation? Well, the answer is only a little bit. Photodegradation is a distant third in terms of degradation of herbicides. So Mark Congreve was good enough to look up some figures for me. Mark looked up from the WSSA handbook, Weed Science Society of America. They do a big thick handbook on all of the herbicides. Now this is the degradation in sunlight of these various herbicides, and it's their half-life in days in terms of photodegradation. Now another point that Chris Preston made was that a lot of these figures are done on glass slides in a lab. When you put a herbicide on the soil and the stubble can protect it even more than it would happen in the lab. So these are probably worst case sort of numbers. What it tells us is S-metolachlor, so our dual gold type herbicide is probably the one that is most prone to degradation from sunlight. Then in the next group we've got simazine, atrazine, trifluralin. We know that if trifluralin's in the sun it's going to be volatilizing anyway, so it's probably a bit of a non-issue, but simazine and atrazine, a little bit of photodegradation. And then some of our newer herbicides, prosulfocarb, propizamide, not a new herbicide, but we're using it a lot more these days, pyroxasulfone, Sakura, they're low risk for photodegradation. But what Chris and Mark and Roberto did tell me was that the risk is not photodegradation, but if we've put out our pre-ems dry and then we get some light rainfall, that light rainfall to stimulate the microbes, the bugs in the soil to start degrading the herbicide. If we get light rain, say that 1 to 3 or 5 millimeters, it can be enough to start microbial degradation, but not enough to germinate weeds or your crop. So that is the risk. Now guess what we're getting in Western Australia today? Light rain for a lot of farmers. So it is a problem. We probably are going to lose some of our pre-em herbicide efficacy because our microbes will start breaking down these herbicides before we get our true season break. If you're getting a true season break, then all well and good, the herbicide should fire up as the crops and the weeds germinate. But for those people getting that little bit of rain but not enough to germinate crops and weeds, we can lose some of that efficacy. What can we do about it? Not a whole lot, I guess, other than be prepared for a weedier crop or that early germination. Perhaps have the chemicals in the shed ready for you to have a go at some of that post-emergent weed control that if we do lose some of this efficacy from our pre-ems. We also have a new pro course on diversity era through WeedSmart. It's an online learning platform. Our latest course presented by Chris Preston and Mark Congreve is Pre-Emergent Herbicides 101. We're providing one of the modules with this video for you to have a look at. It is Chris Preston presenting herbicide degradation, and he really mostly covers microbial degradation and hydrolysis. So please take a look at that if you'd like to update your knowledge a little bit in this area. Thanks for your questions, keep them coming, and we'll keep trying to respond with answers like this from WeedSmart. Thank you.